sorry. I totally not recorded last time.
Okay, so we have like 20 minutes to finish until 7 p.m. I mean, yeah,
I
20
just,
minutes, so we
yeah.
can just finish.
So basically what I was saying was I wanted to get a sense for the kinds of things that are happening in Brazil right now and what a Brazilian lockdown is versus a California American lockdown, which is, I mean, I can speak for my state, but it's about the same way for all the other states because everything is very consistent here in the United States. So if something is happening in California, and we're big states, so things are really, we take things very seriously. New York is supposed to do the same, and Florida is supposed to do the same. So there's a lot of, we try to keep that, heightened alert going. In Brazil, I know it's not so much, maybe, Feira de Santana does this, and the cities next to it are doing nothing. So I really wanted to get a sense for that. And what you guys are going to be doing, if there's anybody with plans on hold. And apparently, I guess, traveling is one of the biggest things that people are holding off on. Not my mom. She's going to be in Brazil in the beginning of July. I don't know. She's cray. The other thing is, let's jump over to, so we talked about this disaster and how it's probably going to change the way we do things in the future. And I told you guys about the fact that now restaurants are going to have, you're not going to be able to go to a restaurant and unless you probably call before for reservation. Tables are going to be spread out 6 feet apart. I also saw something that had salt and pepper holders. Okay, there's none of that anymore. Tables don't have that anymore. So if you get to a restaurant, they will bring it with your meal. So there's all of these things that are going to change, especially with restaurants. And the reason why I'm bringing out restaurants is because I like to go out on, once a week, and it's really important to me and my family. I don't know how that would work out in Brazil. So I was wondering if there's anything out there with this kind of information as to how things are going to be, how restaurants are going to run their business. Is that something, Marcelo?
Yeah, in Brazil, for example, I'm gonna talk about my area here. So people, they are just working as delivery.
Yes.
So restaurants are not actually working. So only delivery. If a restaurant open the doors for clients, they surely will be closed. So the fiscalização, I don't know how to say that in English.
Mm-hmm.
They will punish the restaurant and they have to pay a fine and something like this. So they have only to deliver. That's the idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, okay. I think I probably said many things that you guys didn't understand. So I'm open to questions if you guys want.
Renata, in your city, do you have a lockdown or something like that?
Yes, it's a lockdown, but it's not a total lockdown. It's you do things like today I went to the grocery store to buy groceries. However, there's something more happening. We are having protests, and there's a city nearby that got broken into, and there's something called looters that broke and shattered stores and stole all kinds of things. So all the other cities nearby boarded off their businesses so that they wouldn't get attacked. So that is a bad thing right now. So there's something called a curfew, which is by a certain time, nobody goes out because everything is closed. So right now we have a curfew of 5 p.m. because of that. And it's going to stay until 2 weeks. Yeah, I think, yeah, 2 weeks. And that's not good.
It's happening
Seriously.
protests in our city.
I'm
It's
sorry?
happening protests. It's
Um,
happening protests in your
yeah.
city.
In not this city, but all in other cities around, like San Francisco.
No.
Actually, my city, but it's not like the protest that you would see. It's usually people with cardboard pieces saying stuff, and they just stand there like this. And they lived. And they stand in the corners of streets. It's very peaceful. It's very nice. It's not like, I want to, don't come near me, I'm going to hit you. It's not, it's very peaceful. I don't know if you guys are listening to the news, what's going on here, but a police officer, killed a black man by applying force to his neck on the floor, on the asphalt. And it's a huge news right now. So is that something that Fantástico is showing?
Yes, they talk about. We know everything.
So right now it's a huge deal. Everybody is up and
Excuse
on.
me. There are people trying to come in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but just talk about this. I'm sorry, Carlos, to interrupt you. But in the beginning, I saw that was violence. They put house on fire.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
okay, now it's
No,
fine.
no.
The
There
beginning
is.
was terrible.
It is. There's always violence, and everybody is really not okay with it. We're trying. Everybody wants to go out and protest. And little cities do the way they can. So I know my city, the people here, we are very quiet about it. Even in San Francisco, cops are very supportive of the protesters, and they, the cops are not there to say, hey, go home, get out of here, with a baton, and none of that. It's like, the cops here are like, hey guys, how are you? Thank you for being here. That's how they talk. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It's not your like crazy Chinese, I don't know, protest of back in the days. No, none of that. It's very nice. But yes, there are people that are creating havoc, creating chaos, and breaking up stores, stealing things, burning up buildings, that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? It's bad, but we're all very concerned in trying to make sure that we all got each other's back. We're understanding of, I know you're hurt. We don't like the fact that, we have racism and in this whole situation, but it's like, everybody's just like, let's not have violence. There's no need for violence. It's everybody's trying to do something, and but yeah,
Renata.
no violence.
Sorry, Renata, again. Salim is trying to reconnect again. While you're trying that, yes, I'm very curious about something. The cases of COVID-19 here has been increasing a lot in Feira de Santana. And I don't know. And I heard that maybe this virus may be transmitted by the air. Do you know something about it, or is
Yeah,
that any
that's why we wear
suspect?
masks.
Yeah, but in fact, they said about the mask because we may spill something, but now they really talk about air. So so
Let's say if I go running and I pass somebody,
uh-huh.
it I did see a couple things on TV about, but I don't think it's true, because here we are encouraged to go outside and get exercise. So I do run. So I'm out there, and I do it without a mask. But when I run, I pass people, and like if I see somebody here, I go way away, far away, and then I go. As long as you keep your distance. But I don't know if I don't find that a true. I think that's fake news. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
not
it.
having I'd like to ask you again. I'd like you talk a little bit about how is the prejudice in the United States, because I know that the country try to mix people. For example, in the schools, you can see different kind of people, even that are not American,
Mm-hmm.
of different race in the university. In many places, the government give the rights for everybody, the support, and apparently would be a good environment to everybody.
Yes.
But when happens this thing, is that we can see that the problem persists and is very
Yeah.
grave. How does work this?
So I have mixed opinions about it because I am Latina. Aqui
Yeah.
I'm considered Latina, and I, as much as I'm blonde and I look a certain way, I am Latina. Period. And does that mean I'm Latina like the Mexicans that are here? Maybe some, but do I feel like I was ever discriminated against? Not really. Um, I have a okay. So the thing what happened with the police officer and what happened, you know, when he stepped on the neck on that guy had previous medical conditions. That justifies what happened to him. Not that, but he was actually he had issues before, so it was a it was a series of events that caused him to die. It wasn't caused solely or only because of that. It was previous ailments or previous health conditions. But taking that aside, there is one sec. Okay. So taking that aside, I think that there's a lot of areas in California you never will feel discriminated against because you've got Chinese, Irish, German, Russians, Jewish people, a lot of Chinese, by the way, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Indian people, a lot of Mexicans. I mean, this is California. So this is like a melting pot. And
I think that the problem is worse in the case of the black people
um,
because the color of skins and the history.
yes,
I don't know
yeah,
because
yes,
people
and it's yeah, which is funny, but I don't know if I feel like in Brazil it's worse than it is here.
in Brazil.
Yeah, in Brazil, to me, there's more racism than there is here. And when I go to Brazil, I feel that it's more obvious, and I feel it more. I don't know. It's just yeah. That's my feeling here. Yeah, if you go to certain cities with a bigger population of blacks, their police department is different. And but yes, I mean I think it's still very racism is out there, but everyone we try as much as possible not to make that a problem, um, especially white people. I think that you know we've had issues in back in the 50s, and now you know here's 2020. This kind of stuff shouldn't happen. We had Barack Obama, you know, such a great president. Everybody feels like, oh no, we're far past that. But for some people, not so much, especially if you go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, they think a little different there. Here in California, I take pride in thinking that this is not an issue. Okay, I am Brazilian. I'm black as well. I have 33% black. It bothers me. E eu não gosto de ver essas coisas. I don't like to think that people are judging because of color. I find that very stupid, and so does a lot of people. but I feel like white people, they get it because they've grown up in this country seeing chaos with this whole discrimination, you know, the racism between, you know, just let's just say color, because there's a lot of discrimination with other things like Jewish people too. There's racism with all kinds of stuff, but let's just say color for now. That I feel like, because like, for example, my husband, he doesn't like that. He doesn't understand color shouldn't matter, really matter. And he's, you know, 45, but he grew up seeing a lot of that racism, you know, even in California. I just feel like we have less here than we do in other areas. And I feel like Brazil has a little more in a different way, but it's one of those humongous subjects we can talk about like days and days on end. But yeah.
Okay, guys, we
Yes.
have 5 minutes. Okay, if you have questions, 5 minutes.
No, I just want to talk about this, just to express my opinion. I agree with you, Renata. I think here in Brazil, it is worse than the United States. There is a big problem here. We don't have a lot of Black people on places of power. I mean, United States had the president Obama, and if we study the history, we are going to find a lot of Black people, strong women like Rosa Parks. We can talk about Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are a lot of different opinions about him, but he was a Black and strong man. Here in Brazil, unfortunately, the power is concentrated in the white people.
Yes.
So we still are the minority. And here in Brazil, the color of the skin has a connection with the social and economical situation. So the most of the Black people are in poverty situation.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different from the United States. Yeah.
Yeah.
After the president, I know, I think everything got better after Obama, but here
Not
there
yet.
are a lot of political issues that interfere on the racism and all kind of prejudice, actually.
Yes.
Not only the racism. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, actually, let's just choose the time when Obama got elected. And that was a good, what, 8 years ago? Help me out, guys. Come on. Help me out. It was a good while ago. And
Yes.
it's like Black actresses, Black music. I mean, you name it. It was an explosion. I mean, to me, I don't feel that division here as much as I do in Brazil. I just
Yes.
don't. And if I go to, like, let's say there's a nearby city here, there's a bigger Black community. I'm okay with going there. There's no big deal. What are they gonna do? Nothing. Then I go to a Brazilian community in Brazil. I'm afraid to get robbed. I don't like that. Shouldn't be the case. They should just
Yes.
let's just whatever. Hey, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Here, no. What are they gonna do? Nothing. What? I mean, but in Brazil, I grew up being, you know, like I was little, and I would stand in a bus stop, and I would get picked, you know, like somebody would just, you know, and I hate to say it, but yes, it was somebody, you know, Black, but that doesn't, you know, but that's how we are, you know, in our society. There's that happening all the time, but it's, you know, coming here to the United States, I've been here forever, 25 years, whatever. I don't have that. I'm not afraid. And nobody here is like that. I grew up with that. Americans don't have that. My husband, that concept is not his. He doesn't get it. He doesn't like, he's not afraid to walk into. So when he went to Brazil, he basically, he loves walking. He goes walking in becos. He just likes to walk, and he will walk entire cities just at like any time of the day, which is like, I would tell him, Robert, why are you doing that? You might get robbed. She's like, what do you mean? I'm not gonna get. So there's that. He grew up in an environment that did not have that.
Yeah.
And here, I don't feel like I can get. I'm not. I don't feel the same way I did when I was growing up in Brazil. And
Okay, guys, I'm sorry, but
anyway,
our time is over.
our time.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, time is over.
Marcelo,
I'm very
Marcelo
sorry.
wants to end the party.
Yes. Remember, this was just a simple class. Okay, so you can talk
Okay.
to me in private about the class, what you think, or give feedback. Okay, so just
I will.
uh, I'm gonna not give her less considerations. You can talk to her also, especially because I have a class at 7 o'clock with Salim Juni that's watching the class. So okay, hey, so you can just say your last considerations, and the guys can just say goodbye. So we can have, of course, another meeting later on. We're gonna set that, but okay, so that's it.
Mm-hmm. Last consideration.
And
I mean, okay, I'm just gonna.
Nice to meet you and nice to talk to you. Okay.
Nice to talk to you
I
guys.
hope we will get in contact soon.
Yes.
Okay.
That
Nice
sounds
to
great.
meet you, Renata.
Nice meeting you guys.
Marcelo, thank you.
Thank you, Marcelo.
Bye bye, guys.
Okay,
Awesome.
thank you too. Bye to everyone. Bye, Tasia. Bye.